The sky over Earth changed without warning. It happened at noon, on a normal day, when millions of people were outside, working, traveling, or simply living their lives. At first, people thought a storm was coming, but the clouds were too perfect, too sharp, too dark. Then the world realized the truth. Something enormous had moved between the sun and the planet. A shadow covered cities, oceans, mountains, everything. Street lights flickered. Car alarms rang. People stepped out of their homes and offices to stare at the sky. Above them floated a giant alien ship, so massive that it looked like a dark continent hanging in space. Its metal skin glowed with cold blue lines. It made no sound, but every human felt a pressure inside their chest, like the ship itself was watching them. News channels went silent. Satellites stopped responding. Internet signals broke like thin glass. Across the world, fear rose like a wave. Then it happened. A bright white shape appeared in the sky, stretching across continents. It was a hologram, an alien face with empty, glowing eyes and skin like polished stone. It looked down at Earth as if it was staring at insects. The voice that followed made every building vibrate. Humanity. You will surrender. People screamed. Parents pulled their children inside. Soldiers froze in place. The voice continued, slow and calm, like a judge announcing a final sentence. You have 1 day to bow. Your world will kneel. Earth will be ours. The hologram flickered. A countdown appeared across the sky. Midnight. And then the message ended. The alien ship did not leave. It simply waited silently, covering the sun like a false moon. Governments tried to communicate. Nothing worked. Every attempt was blocked. The aliens had taken control of global systems. Military drones crashed. Fighter jets lost power mid-flight. Even nuclear command centers found their computers frozen. Humanity felt helpless. But Earth still had one secret the aliens did not know. Far below the surface, in a hidden base sealed under kilometers of rock, a room came alive. Red lights lit the walls. Heavy doors unlocked. Screens flickered, showing world maps, fleet diagrams, and the alien countdown. A man walked into the room, his boots echoing on the steel floor. He was known only as Commander Hale, a calm, quiet figure with gray eyes and a face marked by old battles. He had fought in wars humans were not sure they would survive. Now he looked at the alien countdown on the screen. He did not panic. He did not shout. He simply studied the numbers. Beside him stood Dr. Lyra Chen, the chief engineer of a secret project. She swallowed hard and said, "They have returned. Just like we feared." Hale nodded. "And they think we will kneel." On another screen, the alien ship drifted slowly across the sky. Dr. Chen hesitated. "Commander, do we activate the fleet? If we do this, there is no turning back." Hale turned to her. "They want Earth to bow. If we do nothing, we die on our knees. If we fight, we die standing. I know what I choose." Dr. Chen took a deep breath. "Then I will prepare the Nightborn protocols." For years, humanity had built a hidden weapon, Project Nightborn, a fleet of ships created in secret after the first alien contact decades ago. Few people even knew it existed. It was Earth's last hope if another enemy ever returned from the stars. The aliens believed humans were weak and soft. They believed Earth had no answer to their demand. They were wrong. Deep beneath the ocean floor, in a locked vault of steel and titanium, something began to wake. Huge engines glowed red like the eyes of sleeping beasts. Gigantic metal doors slid open with thunder-like sound. A faint shake spread through the water as the machines inside began to rumble. The Nightborn fleet had slept for many years. Now, one by one, its ships activated. Lights flashed along the hulls of black war cruisers. Their surfaces absorbed light instead of reflecting it. They were built for night battles, silent attacks, and sudden strikes, everything the aliens would never expect. Giant submarines pushed the ships upward, carrying them toward the surface like rising shadows. Inside the command base, Hale watched the feeds from the underwater vault. A strange calm spread across his face. "The world will think we are hopeless," he said softly. "The aliens will think we are broken." Dr. Chen looked at him nervously. "Then what are we, Commander?" Hale stared at the screen showing the rising Nightborn ships. "We are humans," he said. "The last species the galaxy should underestimate." Above ground, people cried, prayed, or sat in silence as the alien countdown continued. 23 hours 41 minutes and 22 seconds. The giant ship still blocked the sun. No one on the surface knew what was rising from the deep ocean. No one knew that Earth was preparing its own answer. Then the first Nightborn ship reached the surface. Water exploded upward like a tower. The black cruiser broke through the waves, engines roaring. Far overhead, the alien ship finally detected movement. Its blue lights flickered in surprise. Commander Hale watched the signal appear on his screen and whispered, "Let them see us rise." The war for Earth had just begun. The ocean was calm on the surface, but deep below it, the world was changing. The Nightborn fleet, hidden for decades, was slowly waking from its long sleep. Every ship was a silent giant, built in darkness, built in fear of the day humanity might need them. Now that day had come. In the command base under the mountains, Commander Hale stood before a giant holographic map. Blue dots representing Nightborn ships began to light up, one after another. The base shook gently as more massive doors opened underground, pushing hidden ships toward the open sea. Dr. Lyra Chen ran her hands across the control panels, checking every power reading, every engine start, every system reconnect. Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled. "Nightborn Ship 1, active. Ship 2, active. Ship 3, rising," she said. Hale nodded. "How long until the full fleet is ready?" Dr. Chen hesitated. 30 minutes, maybe less if systems stay stable." Hale turned back to the map showing the alien ship still blocking the sun. "We don't have much time. The enemy is already watching." Above Earth, the alien dreadnought floated like a dark god. Its cold blue light slowly shifted, scanning the planet below. It sensed movement in the oceans, but it did not understand the reason. To the aliens, humans were small, chaotic creatures, nothing more. They had made a mistake. Far out in the Pacific Ocean, the surface of the water suddenly rose. A huge black shape pushed upward. With a roar, a Nightborn battle cruiser broke through the waves, sending white water flying in every direction. Its hull was covered in dark armor plates, shaped to hide it from scanners. Red lights pulsed along its edges, like a heartbeat waking after a long sleep. More ships followed. One by one, they rose from the water. Silent attack frigates. Heavy carriers. Deep space destroyers. And command vessels meant to lead entire armies. They looked like shadows made solid, dark, sharp, ready for war. On one of the ships, young pilot Aaron Jace sat inside the cockpit of a Nightborn starfighter. His hands rested on the controls, sweating slightly. He had trained for years but never expected the real thing to happen. His radio crackled. "Pilot Jace, prepare for launch. This is not a drill." Aaron swallowed hard. Understood. He had watched the alien message with the rest of the world. His little sister had cried when the sky turned dark. His mother had tried to hide her fear, but he had seen it. That was the moment Aaron knew he would not let Earth fall. On the main Nightborn carrier, Captain Mara Vance walked across the bridge, giving orders with a voice steady as steel. "All ships, move to silent formation. Use low power. We rise unseen until the commander gives the word." Her crew moved fast. Hands on controls. Eyes sharp. Hearts trembling but ready. Back in the mountain base, Hale watched the fleet forming. "How many ships do we have?" he asked. 48 operational. 30 more coming online, Dr. Chen replied. "We are still outnumbered by, well, a lot." Hale did not smile, but there was a fire in his eyes. Numbers don't win wars. Resolve does. The countdown continued in the sky above Earth. 22 hours 13 minutes and 10 seconds. Humans watching from cities saw the alien ship changing color. Blue lights turning dark red. Weapons activating. The aliens were preparing to strike first. But the aliens still did not know what was beneath the waves. The Nightborne fleet began to move as one. Engines hummed. Water exploded behind them. They cut through the ocean like black arrows, heading toward launch coordinates. On the alien dreadnought, sensors suddenly detected multiple energy spikes in the Pacific Ocean. A strange clicking sound came from the alien commander. Primitive species. Attempting resistance. The alien ship opened smaller bays, releasing drone scouts into Earth's atmosphere. Commander Hale saw the drone signals appear on the map. "They've noticed us." Dr. Chen looked at him. "Do we stop? Do we delay?" Hale shook his head. "We move faster." He pressed a single button on his command screen. Deep underwater, giant magnetic rings began to spin. The ocean glowed red around them. And then, the Nightborne ships launched. They shot out of the water like rising meteors, leaving swirling water behind them. Engines roared like thunder. The sea below boiled from heat trails. All across the world, people looked up in shock. Black ships with red engines raced into the sky, climbing through the clouds in tight formation. A symbol painted on each hull glowed bright, a burning crimson star. It was the mark of the Nightborne. Humanity's secret answer. The alien drones turned toward the rising fleet. Laser scans tried to track them. Data flashed across alien screens. "Impossible," the alien commander hissed. "Humans cannot build ships like these." Commander Hale watched the launch from his base. For the first time since the invasion began, he allowed himself a small smile. "We warned no one," he whispered. "We hid everything. And now, they will learn." On the Nightborne carrier, Captain Vance raised her voice. "All ships, prepare for first maneuver. Our fight begins now." The fleet turned toward space like a swarm of dark arrows. Earth had been threatened. Now it was rising. The Nightborne fleet climbed through the clouds like a storm of black wings. Their engines glowed red behind them, painting lines of fire across the sky. People from every nation watched in silence from the ground, some crying, some praying, some simply staring with hope they never thought they would feel again. Humanity was no longer helpless. But the enemy was already waiting. High above the atmosphere, alien drones formed a wide circle, scanning and sending data back to the dreadnought. Their metallic bodies twisted and spun in the thin air, preparing to attack the rising humans. Inside his mountain base, Commander Hale studied the tactical screen. "Enemy drones incoming," Dr. Chen warned. 50, no, 70 units. "They are spreading to intercept our fleet." Hale replied, "They want to block our climb. But we will not stop." In his cockpit, young pilot Aaron Jace felt his heart pounding. His starfighter shook slightly as it pierced the last layer of clouds. When he broke through the top, he saw the enemy drones waiting like a ring of sharp metal birds. Captain Mara Vance's voice filled the radio. "All Nightborne ships, hold formation. Wait for my command." The fleet moved in perfect unity, slowing just enough to confuse the alien sensors. The drones floated silently at first, their glowing eyes fixed on the humans. Then the alien dreadnought sent a single pulse. The drones attacked. Beams of bright blue light shot toward the Nightborne formation. The air cracked with heat. Aaron's cockpit flashed with red warnings. Evasive. Captain Vance ordered. Human ships scattered in every direction, cutting through the air with tight, controlled movements. Blue lasers passed between them, missing by inches. But the Nightborne fleet did not run. They maneuvered. They prepared. "Focus on the shield grid," Hale said from the base. "We disable their protection first." On Captain Vance's ship, the tactical officer shouted, "Target locks ready." "Then fire," Vance commanded. A wave of red missiles launched from the Nightborne ships. They moved silently at first, then burst alive with crimson trails. The aliens tried to shoot them down, but the missiles split into smaller, faster fragments. They struck the drones with needle-like explosions. Aaron watched in awe. The drones around him broke apart like burning metal leaves. Cheers filled the radio for a moment, until the alien dreadnought responded. A deep, rumbling sound came from the ship above. Its underbelly opened, revealing massive weapons, huge cannons that glowed with cold light. The sky itself seemed to shake. Dr. Chen whispered, "They are powering up their main weapons." The alien cannons fired. A wall of blue energy shot downward, shaking Earth's atmosphere. It smashed through clouds, tearing them apart. The Nightborne fleet swerved violently as the blast passed between their lines. 2 human ships were hit. They exploded instantly, leaving only smoke and burning debris. Aaron closed his eyes for a moment. He had trained with those pilots. He had laughed with them. And now they were gone. Captain Vance's voice cracked for the first time. "Stay focused. We continue the mission." The Nightborne fleet pushed forward with renewed rage. Their engines blazed red. They closed the distance to the alien dreadnought despite the danger. Commander Hale gave a calm order from the base. "Prepare the silent dawn strike." Dr. Chen turned toward him. "Are you sure? We have never used it outside simulation." Hale nodded. "Then today we see if it works." On board every Nightborne ship, lights turned from red to white. Engines shifted tone. Shields changed color. Aaron felt his fighter suddenly become lighter, faster. "What is this?" he asked. Captain Vance answered, "Silent mode. We vanish from their sensors for 14 seconds. That is all the time we have." A countdown began in every cockpit. 14. 13. 12. When the number hit 10, something shocking happened. The Nightborne fleet disappeared. One moment they were there, dark ships glowing red. The next moment, they were gone, like shadows erased from reality. Alien sensors went dark. The drones spun wildly, confused. On the dreadnought, alarms screamed. The alien commander clicked angrily, "Impossible. Humans cannot hide from us." But the Nightborne fleet was no longer where the sensors looked. They were closer. Much closer. In the silence of the hidden mode, Aaron gripped his controls tightly. Captain Vance spoke softly. "When the countdown ends, we strike the shield core. This is our only chance. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Silent mode ended. The Nightborne fleet reappeared directly under the alien dreadnought. "Fire!" Captain Vance roared. Dozens of missiles, plasma shots, and rail beams launched at the same time. They hit the underside of the dreadnought where its shield generators were weakest. The explosions spread like bright flowers of red and white. The alien shield grid flickered. Flickered again. And broke. The alien dreadnought shuddered violently. Its glowing lights dimmed. The massive shield protecting the alien fleet vanished completely. Dr. Chen shouted, "It worked. Their shields are down." Commander Hale closed his fist. "Good. Now hit them again. The Nightborne fleet fired another wave. The dreadnought screamed with metal as its armor cracked. Aaron watched the sparks and fire spread across its hull. He felt something new inside him, hope. Humanity had just done what the aliens believed impossible. But as the dreadnought drifted backward, bleeding sparks into the sky, a deep hum filled the air. Something worse was coming. A portal opened behind the alien ship, huge, dark, and shaking with energy. And through that portal, hundreds of alien warships began to appear. The real battle was only beginning. Space itself seemed to open like a wound. Behind the damaged alien dreadnought, the giant portal pulsed with dark energy. At first, only a few ships appeared, sharp, long shapes with glowing blue engines. But then more came, and more, until the portal looked like a river of metal pouring into the stars. Hundreds of alien warships emerged, forming a terrifying wall behind the dreadnought. Some were small and fast. Some were huge, with rotating weapon rings. And in the center, rising slowly like a nightmare, was the supercarrier, a ship so massive it made the dreadnought look small. Commander Hale watched the screen in silence as the new enemy fleet formed. Dr. Chen whispered, We can't fight all of that." Hale did not look away. His voice remained calm. "If we run, Earth dies. If we charge, we may die. But if we stand here, we buy Earth time." His eyes hardened. "So we stand." In orbit, Captain Mara Vance stared at the incoming armada. Her crew looked at her with fear in their eyes. She felt fear too, but she also felt pride. She activated the fleet channel. "This is Captain Vance of the Nightborne fleet," she said. Her voice echoed in every cockpit. "Listen carefully. The enemy is larger. The enemy is stronger. But they do not know who we are." Her eyes narrowed. "They do not know humans never stop fighting." Aaron Jace listened from his starfighter. His pulse quickened. He watched the alien ship spreading out like a giant net meant to surround Earth. He remembered his sister watching the sky turn dark. He remembered the fear in her eyes. His hands tightened on the controls. He would not let that fear come true. The alien commander aboard the dreadnought hissed in irritation. "Human resistance is pointless. Prepare full planetary strike." On the supercarrier, enormous plates along its sides opened. Energy gathered, bright and cold, forming a sphere of blue light the size of a city. The weapon hummed like a storm preparing to break. Dr. Chen gasped. "They're charging a planet-killer cannon." Hale leaned closer. "Time." 7 minutes, she replied. "Maybe 6. Hale nodded slowly. "Then we make them focus on us." He pressed a command. A message flashed to the entire Nightborne fleet. "Hold the line. No ship returns to Earth." Captain Vance saw the order and closed her eyes for a moment. She understood what Hale was asking. A sacrifice. A stand between Earth and destruction. She opened her eyes and spoke to her crew. "Prepare for full engagement. We will not let the enemy fire that cannon." Her officers nodded, even though most were pale with fear. The alien armada moved as one. Hundreds of ships spread in formation, their weapons glowing. Their engines created a low vibration across space, like the growl of an enormous beast. Captain Vance raised her hand. "All ships, forward." The Nightborne fleet moved. They accelerated with blazing red engines, flying directly toward a force 10 times their size. The smallest Nightborne fighters darted ahead, leaving red trails. Heavy destroyers moved behind them, spreading shields to protect their advance. Aaron flew near the front. Alien ships shot beams of blue fire toward him. He dodged right, then left, spinning between 2 shots. His fighter shook as a blast scraped past his wing. "Keep formation," his squad leader shouted. Aaron rejoined his squad and fired 2 red plasma bolts. They hit a small alien vessel, blowing it apart in a burst of fire. The battle exploded across the entire front. Nightborne ships zigzagged through enemy fire. Alien cruisers unleashed waves of energy. Fighters collided in deadly spirals. Space filled with glowing debris and burning metal. Captain Vance's ship took a hit. Sparks flew across the bridge. Smoke filled the air. Damage to lower shields, an officer yelled. "Keep moving," Vance ordered. "We must reach the cannon." But the alien fleet tightened the formation. They wanted to keep the humans away from the supercarrier at all costs. Back on Earth, millions watched the battle on scrambled screens. They could barely see anything clearly, but they saw enough. Bright lights. Explosions. Human ships rising and falling. They watched humanity's last defense fight with everything they had. Some people cried. Some prayed. Some stood silently. But no one turned away. Earth was holding its breath. In the base, Dr. Chen monitored the cannon charge. 3 minutes left, she said. It's almost ready to fire. Commander Hale stared at the screen. We need to break their line. Now. He opened the fleet channel. Nightborne, he said, voice steady, you stand between Earth and Hell. You do not step back. You do not break. His voice lowered. You are the shield of humanity. Every second you hold, saves lives below. Aaron heard the words and felt a strange calm settle in his chest. He pushed his fighter harder. The alien supercarrier glowed brighter. Its weapon sphere pulsed. Space itself shook. Captain Vance realized their time was almost gone. Final push, she shouted. All ships. Break through. The Nightborne fleet surged forward with desperate strength. Aaron's squad punched through a line of alien fighters. A destroyer beside him fired all its weapons at once, ripping open a hole in the enemy formation. Captain Vance rammed her ship into an alien cruiser, tearing off one of its weapon arms. But the alien fleet regrouped instantly. The supercarrier's cannon reached full power. Dr. Chen whispered, they can fire any second. And for the first time, Commander Hale closed his eyes. Please, he whispered, hold one moment longer. Above Earth, 2 fleets burned, collided, and fought with every last breath. The cannon began to glow white. The weapon of doom was ready. But in that final second, a small blinking signal appeared on Hale's screen. He opened his eyes sharply. It was a message. From someone who was not supposed to be alive. And everything was about to change. The Nightborne fleet moved through the burning void like a silent storm, and every enemy ship in its path began to fall apart. Captain Aaron watched the displays on the command bridge. Red enemy markers vanished one by one, turning into fading sparks on the tactical map. But he did not relax. He knew the enemy would not give up that easily, not after chasing Earth for so long. General Kale's voice came through the secure channel. Aaron, all units report heavy resistance near the inner ring. They're calling in their elite guard. The Dominion won't let us reach the Prime Core without a fight. Aaron nodded, keeping his voice calm. Then we break the guard. Earth stands behind us. We stand for them. On the enemy flagship, Prime Commander Zaltor watched the scenes of destruction. His elite guard ships were falling back. His war cruisers were trying to regroup. He growled in anger, his sharp teeth clenching. Humans were supposed to be weak. They were supposed to kneel. But instead, they were rising higher than anyone expected. Prepare the core disruptor, he ordered. If we cannot win, we will destroy the Nightborne ships at any cost. His officers hesitated. Sir, the blast will reach our fleet as well. Do it, Zaltor said coldly. Better we burn than let humanity rise. Meanwhile, on the Nightborne flagship, alarms began to sound. The AI spoke quickly. Warning, massive energy buildup detected on enemy flagship. Estimated time to activation, 5 minutes. Aaron looked at the screen. If the core disruptor fired, the explosion would tear half the sector apart. Earth would survive, but the Nightborne fleet would not. They had only one choice: stop the blast. General Kale spoke over the comm. Aaron, we have to strike the flagship now. No formation. No slow push. Just pure force. Aaron took a deep breath. Then let's end this. The Nightborne fleet accelerated. Engines roared like thunder across the void. Blue and violet light trails rushed forward as thousands of ships formed a final spearpoint. The enemy tried to scatter, but the humans were faster, stronger, and far more desperate. Inside the Dominion flagship, Zaltor watched them approach. Fire the anti-warp nets, he ordered. Giant nets of gravity and dark matter launched into space, twisting like black storms. Several Nightborne ships were caught and crushed instantly. But the formation did not slow. Aaron's voice echoed across the entire fleet. For Earth. For every voice they tried to silence. Forward, Nightborne. The remaining ships broke through the nets. Cannons opened fire. Beams cut through enemy shields like knives through cloth. Fighters darted in and out like streaks of lightning. Aaron's ship, the Nightingale, led the center line. As the flagship drew closer, the enemy guns focused on them. Light exploded across their shields. Alarms went off. Sparks fell from the ceiling. Still, Aaron stood tall. Bring us in hard, he said. Boarding team ready. General Kale and his soldiers were already waiting in the drop chamber, armor glowing with night blue lines. He checked his blade, powered by a compact star core. One strike from it could cut through almost anything. The Nightingale slammed into the enemy flagship. Metal tore. Decks shook. The boarding tubes locked in place. Move! Kale shouted. They stormed inside. Dominion soldiers tried to defend the corridors, but Kale's team pushed through with unstoppable speed. Every step brought them closer to the core disruptor chamber. Meanwhile, Aaron stayed on the bridge, supporting them with real-time navigation. Kale, the enemy is pulling forces from the upper decks to stop you. 3 squads incoming on your right. Kale grinned. Let them come. Moments later, he reached the core chamber. The door slid open, revealing Prime Commander Zaltor standing in front of the glowing machine. Energy swirled around him like a storm. So the Nightborne captain sends his dogs to do the final work, Zaltor hissed. Kale stepped forward. We don't kneel. Zaltor attacked first. His claws struck with deadly speed, but Kale blocked with his energized blade. The chamber shook as their weapons clashed. Sparks of red and blue shot across the room. The core disruptor's energy climbed higher. Time was running out. Kale struck with all his strength. His blade cut through Zaltor's armor. The alien commander roared in pain, falling to his knees. This is humanity's answer, Kale said as he delivered the final blow. Zaltor collapsed, and the chamber went silent except for the hum of the unstable machine. Aaron's voice came urgently through Kale's helmet. Kale, the disruptor is overloaded. Shut it down now. Kale tore open the control panel. Energy surged up his arms, burning through his armor. He ignored the pain and pulled the core connectors free. One by one, the lights on the machine went dark. Then silence. The entire enemy fleet stopped firing. Their screens flickered. Their commanders saw their leader was dead and their final weapon was gone. The Nightborne ships surrounded them. Earth's victory was no longer a dream. It was real. Kale stood in the chamber, breathing heavily, armor cracked, but still standing. Aaron spoke softly over the comm. It's over, Kale. You did it. Kale looked at the fading sparks around him. No, he said. We all did. And far across the stars, Earth looked up, not in fear, but in pride, as humanity's nightborn fleet blazed the void crimson and proved, once again. Humans don't kneel. Humans rise.